Hello everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Michael. Today I've got a lot of lemons here and I'm going to show you how to make lemon jelly. This is going to be a quick recipe, so we want to get everything going and get everything prepared because once we start it goes really quickly. So I've got my water bath canner here. I'm going to show you how to do that to make these shelf stable so that you can use that this winter when the lemons are not as preferable as they are now. So definitely, if you've never water bath canned before, I'm going to put some link in the description box below for some beginner basics, some of the tools and things that you can use for water bath canning. And then I'll put some of the other videos I've got in there of some jams and jellies where you can check some of those out. You might like some of the other ones that I've got as well. So I've got a 23 quart water bath canner here. And if you don't have one and you want to go out and get one, you make sure you get one that has a rack in it. You don't want to get one that doesn't have a rack in it because when you put the jars in there, when it starts boiling, it could bang around on the bottom with the bubbles that's moving around. So this rack will help alleviate those from turning over and possibly breaking in the bottom of your canner, and you definitely don't want that to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and put my rack into the bottom. I normally wouldn't have the water in it, but I'm going to go ahead and get this heated up because the longest part of what we're going to do today is to juice the lemons. So we want to heat our jars up, and our liquid for our jam is going to be hot as well. So we want to put hot jam into hot jars. You don't want to take a chance of shocking the jars, putting in hot jam into a cold jar and risking cracking those. So you want to heat the jars up, and I'm going to heat mine up to about 180 degrees Fahrenheit, or that's about 80 degrees Celsius. And I'm going to go ahead and get that started. So I've got 6 half-pint jars here. I don't know that I'm going to eat all of them. I'm just going to make a small batch today to show you how to do that. But what you want to do is, if you don't have your water already in your canner, is you want to put the jars into the bottom and then fill each one of the jars so that they don't float up on the top. I'm just going to do it kind of backwards today and just put the jar in it just like that and put the water in it and go ahead and take mine to the stove and get this turned on, and I'll come back and we're going to start with our lemons. Let's get started juicing our lemons now. We're going to need 2 cups, or that's 500 milliliters, and I'm going to start with my lemons here. And I've got my juicer here. You can use whatever juicer that you like, that you have, but this one is really nice. It really extracts a lot of juice out of that. And you're going to need a nut milk bag, or if you don't have one of these, if you've got a sieve that's got real fine mesh on it, we want to put that in here so that we can take out the pulp and any seeds that might fall through. So measure out 2 cups of your lemon juice, and we'll continue with this, and I'll be back in just a minute. All right, I am back, and I've got my 2 cups or my 500 milliliters of my lemon juice, and I'm going to add that to my pot here. This is a 4-quart stainless steel pot. You either want to use a stainless steel pot or you want to use a Dutch oven that's got a ceramic lining in it. You do not want to use anything that's got aluminum, because the aluminum with the acidity from this lemon juice here would cause a reaction, and it could put an off-putting taste in the jelly. So you definitely don't want that. So if you've got stainless steel or you've got a Dutch oven, use that for that. So now I have 3 tablespoons of real fruit Classic Pectin, or that's 45 milliliters, and I'm going to add that to my lemon juice here. Now that I've got that pectin in there, I'm just going to give this a stir together to get that mixed in well with that lemon juice, and I've got my flame up on high here, and I want to bring this to a rolling boil. Now this you want to stir constantly. When this comes to a rolling boil, you want it so that you can't stir the boil down. So that's what we're looking for now. All right, this is at a rolling boil where I can't stir the boil down, and I'm going to add in now 4 cups of sugar, or that's 800 grams. Now let's give that a good mix through, and we'll get that all stirred together, and we'll bring that up to another boil. And once that starts boiling again, we want to boil that for a hard boil for 1 minute. All right, our mixture's come up to a hard boil. We do not want to stop stirring this, and we're going to keep a watch on this so this don't boil over, and this gets boiled for 1 minute. All right, now I'm going to turn the heat off on this. I'm going to go grab my jars, and we're going to start filling the jars up with our jelly. I've got my first jar here. I've got my jar lifter. I'll put the link in the description box. You want something that's going to be a good grip on those. Do not use tongs, because if that slips out of your hand and breaks and you've got hot jam, hot jar, that could lead to a mess. So definitely use something that's appropriate. I'll put the link in the description box for those. So I've got a funnel here, and we want to have a 1/4 inch headspace, and the tool I've got for that will measure that 1/4 inch, and that will be the first mark here. And the 1/4 inch headspace is where the top of the food comes to the jar. So we've got a 1/4 inch from the top, and that's what we're looking for with this. All right, I'll take my tool and I can measure that I've got my 1/4 inch that I'm looking for. So now I'm going to take a napkin that I've got here with some vinegar. I'm going to take a little bit of that vinegar on this paper towel, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to clean the top of the jar off and make sure I don't have any sticky residue on that, so that we get a good seal with our lids. And this will be another opportunity for you to check to make sure that there's not any cracks or any chips on the top of the jar to keep that preventing a good seal. So I've got that off now. I've got my metal tool here that I'll use to take my lids out. My lids, I just warm those up just a little bit above room temperature. You don't want to bring those to a boil. And we'll put that right on the top there. We'll take our ring and we're going to put that right on the top as well. And I'm going to keep my hand here on this because this is really hot. And when this stops moving, we want to bring this to fingertip tight, and that'll just be a little bit of a turn. So now that we've got that set, I'm going to put that back in the water bath canner. I'll go grab another jar and we'll see how many we get. I'll be right back. All right, I've got my jars filled up now. I did get 4 of my jars filled, and I've got just a smidge left in here. Not enough, but it will be enough for me to give this a little bit of a taste in just a minute. So with that, we've got the jars back in the water. I took the extra 2 that I had that are out, and I turned the flame back up on high. We want to bring that up to a rolling boil now. And I'm not talking just a regular boil, I mean a rolling boil. And once that becomes rolling boil, put the lid on it, and we're going to count 10 minutes. And you'll process your jars at 10 minutes. And that'll depend on where you're at as well, because based on altitude. Where I'm at, I'm below 1,000 feet, and below 1,000 feet is 10 minutes for the half pints. And I'll put a link in the description box that'll show the increments that you'll add to it for the elevation as it increases. So where you are, find out what your elevation is, and that'll be your processing time for your jars. Once that timer's gone off at that 10 minutes, we'll turn off your heat source. We'll take off the lid. We'll leave the jars in the water bath canner. Do not take them out. Leave them in there for another 5 minutes. And then once that 5-minute timer is up, then we'll take them out, and I'll come back and I'll show you how to store them on the shelf. I am back, and my jelly has processed now. Now, I just took it out of the canner, and now we want to set this someplace so it can cool down. You want to put it away from anybody that might touch it. If you've got kids in the house, make sure you don't put it anywhere where they can reach it, because this is still really boiling hot. And we want to let this sit undisturbed between 12 to 24 hours to allow the jar lids to completely seal, and so we can go ahead and get this ready for the shelf. Now, what you want to do when you're taking it out of the canner is you want to be really careful with it. And I've got a jar here of some of my tomato jam that I made the other day. And when you lift it out of the canner, you want to pick it straight up out of the canner. You don't want to be turning it left and right, because the jars are still trying to seal. And with that, you'll put that straight down here, someplace where you can keep it nice and safe. And with that, if you've never canned before, the jar lids themselves have little dimples on the top. And when it's not sealed, it's raised, and you can feel it with your finger. And when it seals, it pulls it down, so you know it's sealed and you've got a good seal on the lid. So what we're waiting on now, we want to let these cool down so that we can come back, and I'll tell you how we're going to store these on the can shelf and let that seal on those jar lids happen. And I wanted to show you what I had left out of that. Once I got everything processed, I had maybe a tablespoon left out of it. So got really close on using it all, but this is what I've got left out of that. So we'll come back and we'll give this a taste test, and we'll talk about more about how we're going to store these on the shelf once they cool down. I am back, and my jars of my lemon jelly have cooled down. I wanted to show you what those look like. That looks absolutely delicious, and the dimples on the top have recessed down into that, so I know that it's a good indication I've got a seal on that. My rings on the top are loose. I'm going to go ahead and take that off, and we'll check it to make sure we've got a good seal. And we've got another good seal on that one there. So let's check all of them here. And my last one here, another good seal. So I've got 4 good jars of my lemon jelly here. I've got my rings that I can use again. And like we said earlier in the video, the lids for these, this is a one-time only shot for these. So once you take these off and use the product out of it, you'll throw these lids away, but you can keep the rings and use those again. And they do sell the lids by themselves, so you can buy those without having to buy the rings again. So if you got any of the rings that are damaged, get any rust on them or something like that, you can just throw those away and get some new ones. So now if I'd have found one of my jars with one of the lids that was not attached to it at this point, then I could take this one, put the ring back on it, put it in the refrigerator, and we can eat on this one. That is still safe to eat that once it has just come out of the canner. If it didn't seal, or the dimple on the top is pinging on it so that it didn't go down, then definitely put that one in the refrigerator, and that one you can eat. Now these are ready to go to the can shelf. We want to store these on the can shelf with the rings off. You do not want to put the rings back on these. And the reason for that is We want to make sure that these stay sealed. If for some reason the lid on the top of this comes loose, then you would want to take it and throw this one away, because bacteria, mold, anything could get into this if it's been sitting on the shelf for a long period of time. If you leave the rings on it, there might be enough pressure with that to push that lid back down on it again, and it would give it a false seal, and then you would know that there was anything in it. But definitely store your canned goods on the shelf just like this with the rings off. That way you'll know that they're still sealed when you get ready to take them out to eat them. So I've got just a little bit of my jelly here that I'm going to put on some toast that I've got, and I wanted to show you what that looks like. We've got some good jelly with that. You can see I'm going to put some on this toast here, and we'll give it a little bit of a taste test. It's got some beautiful color to it. The smell of that, I can smell that lemon coming through there. That smells absolutely delicious. Let's give it a try and see what we got. That is absolutely delicious. I know you're going to love this recipe. That lemon has a little bit of tartness that's coming through there. Tastes like those that little candies that you get in the store, the lemon drops. I know this is going to be something that you're going to want to give a try if you've got a lot of lemons like I had left over. If you like this content, maybe you might consider giving me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And while you're at it, check out one of these other 2 videos over here on the side. You might find something else you like. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Give this lemon jelly a try. I know you're going to love it. Leave me a comment in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you how yours turned out and what you think about it. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye now.